Hello and welcome back. In today's video, I want to talk about how to double your sales on Amazon without doubling your ad spend. So my name is Iani. I'm a seven-figure e-commerce seller. I've sold on pretty much every platform you can think of: Amazon, eBay, TikTok, Shop, and our own website. I also have a full-service Amazon agency called E-commerceville, the city of e-commerce, where we do all the listing, ads, creative on Amazon. We're pretty much your in-house marketing team when it comes to Amazon. We manage over 20 million in sales, millions in ad spend, and million in ad sales. In today's video, I want to talk about how to double your sales without doubling your ad spend. And why without doubling your ad spend? Because the easiest thing you can do is spend a lot of money on ads to increase your sales. It doesn't take a genius to do that. What is difficult to do is increase your sales significantly without increasing your ad spend significantly. And the easiest way to do that is by improving your conversion rate. What is conversion rate? Conversion rate is how well we convert, the percentage of conversion. Meaning, if 10 people come to my listing and I convert one, that's a 10% conversion rate. The higher that is, the better I perform and the more profitable I am. But how do you improve that? Because that's a great thing to know, right? Okay, Iani, I know that if I improve my conversion rate, I'm going to be more profitable. Great, but how do you do it? Most brands and agencies do it the wrong way. They look at PPC first, and that's not the place to look at. You look at your listing. And what I mean by that, you want to make sure that you have good reviews. You want to make sure your price competitive, and you want to make sure there's more market fit. And super important, you want to make sure you have a great main image. Because remember, on Amazon, people buy with their eyes. They don't buy by reading. The buying process for a customer, the buying journey is very short. They type what they want, example, protein. They look at the top listings. They see an image they like. They see a review they like. They see a price they like. They click. Many times they even add the basket directly there and buy it now, or they just go into the listing and buy directly. On a rarer occasion, they'll maybe have a look at the other images and the bullet points, but very rarely they'll look at the product description. Sometimes, depending on the product, they might go deeper into the reviews to see images and videos if it's a more expensive product, or maybe a more complicated product like a workout equipment or something of that sort. But really, people are buying with their eyes. So you need to make sure you have good reviews. You need to make sure your pricing is on point, and you need to make sure your main image is world class. But what I mean by good main image, it has to have great quality. In 2025, you have no excuses to have bad images. Depending on the type of product it is, show what it does and stand out a little bit. If you're selling protein, you don't want everything to look the same. Stand out a bit. If you're the same as everyone else, you get the prices and the profits of everyone else, which is usually not great. For example, if you're selling a chopping board, maybe put the knife and the knife cutting some vegetables and some other things around it. Show what the product does in the image so they don't even have to think about when they're buying it. Make it as self-explanatory as possible and as simple as possible. The last thing you want to do is be unclear in your listing, meaning if I'm looking at an image and I'm not understanding what that is, I'm skipping that. I'm going to another product. If you can explain your product and listing in just the main image, you're already ahead of the game. Then, of course, you need to make sure you have good reviews. You need to make sure you're priced competitive or priced accordingly to the value you bring in. If you do that, you're going to do very well, and your conversion rate is going to go up. What's the reward of a conversion rate? Simple math. If your conversion rate is 10%, you convert every 10 clicks. If it's 20%, you convert every 5 clicks. So on 100 clicks, you convert 10 times. On 100 clicks, you convert 20 times with a 20% conversion rate. But the more clicks you have, the more it compounds. And why? Because Amazon has the organic element. So if you're converting a lot more per 100 clicks or per 10 clicks, organically you start selling more because you have more momentum, you have more conversion, and Amazon loves sales velocity and conversion rate. The higher, the better. So that's what you always should be pushing. And then you can really start scaling your ads, because if your conversion rate is low and your click-through rate is low and you're trying to scale, spend, you're just going to be spending a lot more money. You're going to be throwing good money after bad. Fix your listing first. Main image, product reviews, bullet points. You make sure everything is as good as you can. And once that is fixed and it looks good, then you start running more ads and more traffic to it. All you're doing with PPC, you're running traffic and eyeballs to your listing. But if your listing is not good, you're not going to convert well. And if maybe someone clicks, they're not going to convert at all. And you're just going to spend a lot of money without converting. So make sure that is the case. And also another way, another hack you should use to start your listing if you're not performing now is pricing. Play with the price. Lower the price, up the price, put some vouchers, put some promotional deals, put some discounts. Play around with pricing, because that's a big lever, a huge lever to push sales. If you look at a lot of the top sellers in a lot of categories, many times they're lower priced product. Now, of course, depending, you can have premium and higher quality products depending on the niche. But pricing is a huge lever to drive sales velocity. So play with that. Don't be super rigid about pricing. If there's a time you can increase it, increase it. If there's a time you can decrease it, decrease it. Push, and always look at your conversion rate. Track your conversion rate obsessively. I hope you like this video. A lot more to come. Stay tuned.